Now we start this hour in Europe, where Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has arrived in Kyiv to mark Ukraine's Independence Day, reaffirming Canada's backing as the war with Russia grinds into its third year. Carney, invited as a special guest for the occasion, said Canada's support is unwavering and pledged efforts towards what he called a just and lasting peace. Let's listen in what he had to say.
On this day 34 years ago, Ukraine declared its independence from the Soviet Union. And Canada was one of the first countries to recognize Ukraine as a sovereign nation. Since then, Canada and Ukraine have deepened our long-standing friendship, a friendship rooted in the shared values of peace, security, and democracy. Over 1 million Ukrainian Canadians call Canada home, which means that every triumph and every tragedy on Ukrainian soil is felt deeply right here on ours. Canada's support for Ukraine is unwavering, and we are with you every step of the way in your fight to defend your sovereignty and to realize your dreams for your country. Happy Ukrainian Independence Day. Slava Ukraini.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, in his Independence Day address, praised the courage of his people. Okay, we are going over to Maiden Square now. We are cutting live there. While Independence Day celebrations get underway, Mark Carney, as we just saw, the Canadian Prime Minister, has landed in the Ukrainian capital shortly after issuing that speech, that address. It marks Ukraine's 31st anniversary of independence from the Soviet Union, quite fitting. While Russia once again encroaches further into Ukrainian territory, as we see their people gathering, and we have had Zelensky addressing the Ukrainian people on the Independence Day of Ukraine after the collapse of the Soviet Union under Gorbachev back in the 1990s.
Саме це ми робимо 1278 днів цієї війни, війни за незалежність. За кожен із цих днів я хочу подякувати тобі, український воїн, український волонтер, лікар, рятувальник, вчитель, наша молодь, наші батьки, кожен українець та кожна українка. Дякую вам всім за те, що ми вже пройшли, і за ту Україну, яку ми з вами творимо разом. Через 100 років відзначатимуть тут День Незалежності України. Так буде, бо Україна сьогодні інша. Україна сильніша і себе поважає. І Україна не чекає жестів доброї волі, а має власну волю, аби втілювати у життя те, що необхідно нам. Разів ми казали, ми хочемо тиші, ми прагнемо миру, але достойного і всеосяжного. І тому розраховуємо на силу всього світу. Ось така Україна тепер. Ось така Україна ніколи більше в історії не буде до сорому. Ми кажемо, нам потрібен ЄС, так. Але ми потрібні йому не менше. І це визнають всі, і такою визнають Україну. Не бідною родичкою, а сильним союзником. Саме про це коаліція охочих. Саме про це був Вашингтон, про це і про те, як забезпечити сталий, надійний, тривалий. Україна отримає його, бо отримує гарантії безпеки. Настільки сильні, аби більше нікому в світі навіть в голову не змогла прийти думка напасти на Україну. Зі святом вас, великий народе, великої країни. З Днем Незалежності. Слава Україні!
We're now joined by Major General Gigi Dawidi, who's a global strategic defense expert, and he joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much Major General, for joining us here on the programme. 34 years Ukraine has been an independent nation, and we see now Russia encroaching further and further into its territory, slowly, however, may I add. But celebrations continue in the Ukrainian capital, celebrating that day in 1991, August the 24th, when Kyiv got its independence. Mark Carney, a close ally of Kyiv and the Ukrainian President Zelensky. How crucial have those alliances been in Ukraine maintaining its defense against Russian aggression during this war, Major General?
Absolutely, Thomas. It's a very trying time for Ukrainians as they celebrate their 34th Independence Day, because Ukraine has been under aggression for the last over 3.5 years. And very creditably, they have fought back, because when the war started on 24th February 2022, it was, by all experts, it was envisaged that Ukraine will go down in a matter of weeks. But they stood up for the last 3.5 years. This defines the spirit of Ukrainians, which is indeed commendable. Well, Canada and Ukraine are close partners, and as Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, has said, that they stand by Ukraine in the hour of crisis. And as we see that President Putin is in no mood to end the war. In fact, the intensity of operations have increased over the last couple of days, especially by way of drone attacks and missile attacks. And Ukraine needs external help from US and Europe, and they have worked out a mechanism that they'll be supplying, especially the air defense system. Germany and Norway have come together. Norway has promised almost $695 million assistance, and they jointly are going to provide the Patriot system, which are very effective for the air defense. So all I can say is that at present, Ukraine is passing through very critical times. They are fighting for their existence. They are fighting against the aggression. But the spirit of Ukrainian, I think, is a testament of how they held on for the last 3.5 years. And Europeans and American support is very critical for Ukraine to fight on, because as it appears that President Putin is in no mood to end the war. In fact, his conditions are very, very, I think, demanding that complete Donbas area and also demilitarization of Ukraine. I think all the demands are the ones which Ukraine will not accept, or neither its partner, Europe and America. Thomas.
Yes, thank you, Major General. Do stay with us as we discuss further updates on the ongoing conflict. As per reports, Norway will contribute